morning. Today, before we begin our flow, I would like to show you a couple more ways to use a yoga strap. A yoga strap is not a necessity. It's just a tool that sometimes can help you come into poses differently. And I really, really like the way that having the yoga strap allows me to stretch more deeply without feeling strained. So, first of all, there's a really nice leg stretch you can do with the yoga strap. And this you can do on your back, or you can do it standing up. So, to use the strap for the leg stretch on your back, I'm going to come into a laying down position. One leg is flat down on the ground. You're going to lift the other leg up and loop the strap around the bottom of the foot. You can grab that strap with just one hand, that same hand as the foot. Bring the other arm out to the side. And then slowly lower down the leg out to the side. Now, if you can find a 90-degree angle in your hip right there, that's great. If not, you can just come as close as you comfortably can to that 90-degree angle. Hold down to the strap. It really allows you to have a little bit of an extra stretch there because you're pulling with your hand without having to stress out the leg. Really nice little stretch there. And then you can also bring it over to the other side. Bring your leg up on a breath in. Switch hands with the strap. And then let your leg come down across your body all the way towards the other side. You're going to bring your hand back up and bring the gaze over to the opposite hand there. It's a really nice supported leg stretch right there. And you can also use that same motion, the strap, with the leg when you're standing up. So for this one, you bring all weight to one foot. Take your strap, or if you have a belt, that would work okay too, and loop it again right around the bottom of the foot. And then grab that strap just in one hand. You can bring your opposite hand to your hip to help with balance. And then just see how far you can lift that foot up. It doesn't need to be straight out. You can also just have it down a little bit. If it feels like it's just too much of a stretch to bring it up. And from there, you can start to open up your leg out to the side. Again, it doesn't need to be perfectly straight out. Just having that strap help you keep that leg up means that your leg isn't having to do as much work in terms of strength, but you're still getting that nice stretch. So that's one nice way to use the yoga strap. And another pose that I really love to use the yoga strap in is cow face pose. This pose has such a funny name. I don't know how it got that name. For cow face pose, both your arms and your legs are crossed. It's a tricky pose to come into. And the way that I always guide my students into it is by coming onto your hands, bringing the weight forward onto the hands, you match your knees up so your knees are kind of stacked one in front of the other with your legs pointing out to the sides. This is what it looks like from the front. Just crossed over, both feet are kind of sticking out to the sides. They don't need to be at the same angle because they're stacked, so one is in front of the other, so you don't have to worry about bringing them to the same angle. Just bring them out as much as you can and then sit it back in between the feet. And here you use the strap to bring your hands together. So in cow face, your hands come behind you and you interlace your fingers behind your back. You've got your upper hand coming up behind the head. Your head is resting inside the elbow and your lower hand is coming up to meet the fingers of the upper hand. Let me turn around again to show you that. We come in here. We've got the lower hand coming up, fingers reaching up, and the upper hand drops down and meets up with those fingers. But of course, sometimes it's difficult. You feel like you can't match your fingers up there. So that's where the strap comes in. If you have a strap, this doesn't even need to be very long at all. It'll just be a little piece of fabric. You take your strap in your upper hand and then just grab onto the strap instead of worrying about meeting all the way up to those fingers. So this allows your arms to come into the shape of the pose without feeling like you're overextending that stretch. Just like that. Those are two strap poses that I really love using a strap for. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, you can use a strip of fabric, and hopefully you'll be able to also enjoy that little extra stretch that having a strap gives you. All right, let's begin today in child's pose. Come to a kneeling position, knees together, or with some space between them. Big toes are touching. Make sure they're not overlapping so you don't cut off your circulation. Sit back on your heels. Inhale, lift your hands up overhead. And exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Walk your fingertips out in front of you. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. If it reaches, you can rest your forehead right onto the earth. Let your elbows come down, resting on the ground. Allow yourself to sink into the ground just a little bit. Really feel the earth supporting you. Notice all the places where your body is touching the earth. Your fingertips, the curve at the bottom of the palm, the elbows, the knees, the forehead, maybe your nose, tops of the feet and the toes. And then notice all the places where your body is not touching the earth. The center of the palms of the hands, a little hollow in the wrist, the upper arm, the torso. Maybe there's some areas on your ankle that aren't touching the earth, little pockets where your body has little curves in it. Start to call attention to your breath here. At first, we just want to notice our breath. Notice the texture of the breath as you breathe in and out, the temperature. And then start to lengthen your breath, stretching the breath out, not in a forced way, really gently, deepening each inhale and each exhale just by a little bit. So you're gradually stretching out your breath. Start to find your yoga breath, the Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out of the nose, the lips sealed if you're not stuffed up today. You can bring the tip of your tongue to rest on the roof of the mouth, just behind the teeth. And begin to listen for your breath in the back of the throat. It should sound like the ocean inside of your head. A nice, rhythmic, gentle, loud breath right in the back of your throat. Let that sound of your breath, the sound of the ocean, fill your mind completely and push away all other thoughts to bring your focus fully into your body, here and now, at this moment. between the four corners of your mat. Notice just for a moment the boundaries of your body, your skin, your hair, that border that separates yourself from everything else around you. And then start to focus all of your attention inward. Begin your body scan here. We're just checking in. There's no need to change anything, but you're welcome to move around a little bit if you like, wiggling different parts just to bring awareness into them. Or you can remain still during this whole exercise. From the tips of your fingers, work your way through the palms of your hands into your wrists, to the elbows and the shoulders, through the back of the neck. And bring your attention to your face. Notice how that spot right in between the eyebrows is feeling today. Notice what's going on with your jaw. And then move down into your back. Upper, middle, lower back. How does your rib cage feel today? Moving into the hips. And then down through the legs, knees, ankles, and toes. As you go through each body part, just make a note of anything that feels off today. It's so important before we begin moving through our poses that we're aware of the state that we begin in, our physical state. And that's always changing depending on how you slept last night, whether you stubbed your toe yesterday. All these little things are going to affect your abilities to come into your poses today. You just want to be aware of them before you begin. Remember that throughout your yoga practice, you can always take a break or modify any pose to make it right for you. Just making this practice your own. Take a few more deep, full breaths here, just being inside of your body. Keeping your chest really low to the ground, start to crawl your fingertips all the way over to the right. Hips can lean a bit to the left. If you like, you can rest on your left cheek. Maybe you feel a nice stretch on the left side of your body. And now crawl your fingertips all the way over to the left. Hips lean a bit to the right. If you like, you can rest on your right cheek. Walk your hands back to center and forward, coming into puppy pose. Lift the hips up. Hips can come right above the knees or just behind. Reach your chin or chest down towards the mat. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest, making your way to hands and knees tabletop. And adjust. Bring the knees directly below the hips. Wrists come right below the shoulders. Start to move through cat-cow, always going with the breath here. As you breathe in, drop your belly down, roll your shoulders back, bring your gaze up or forward. Exhale, pushing the spine up towards the ceiling, one vertebrae at a time. Relax your head and neck down and bring the gaze through the knees. Keep moving, just like that. Try to stretch your motion out to match the breath. Going at your own pace. You don't need to move at the same pace as me. Just let your breath be your guide. Come back to neutral spine, breathing in. Exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. You can move around a little bit here. Find a nice, comfortable down dog position. Hands and feet both about hip width distance apart. Heels reaching towards the floor. Shoulders sliding down the back, out of the ears. Head and neck fully relaxed. If you like, you can pedal out your legs, bending one knee towards the ground and then the other. I like to do this with the breath. Inhale, pushing both knees back towards straight. And exhale, bending one knee towards the mat. Both knees come back straight on a breath in. Exhale, dipping the other knee down towards the ground. You can keep going like that if you like, or if it feels good to find some stillness, that's okay too. Three sun salutations with the breath. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step between your hands. Forward fold. Half lift to breathe in, lifting up the torso. Bring your torso parallel to the ground. Exhale, folding forward. Relax the upper body down. Inhale to standing, bend your knees, roll your spine up, letting your arms dangle down one vertebrae at a time, coming up, and then lift your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch. Inhale, hands high. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down towards the right. Back up to center, breathing in. Into the left as you breathe out. Inhale to center. Standing back bent on your exhale, cactus the arms up. Bring your hands to your back pockets to support the lower back. Straight back up to breathe in. Exhale, diving forward, keeping the spine really long, going down. Half lift to breathe in. You can bring your hands to shins or float them over the ground. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant your hands. Hop or step back to your high plank, up or push up. Lower down halfway, elbows tucked in. Back up to breathe in. And exhale, lowering down again. You can have your knees down on the mat if that feels better. Up dog or cobra, breathing in. If your legs are all the way on the ground, keep your elbows bent. And exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. Second sun salutation, we're going to start our side stretch to the left first. Bend your knees, look to the hands, take a big breath in. Exhale, hop or step to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Half lift, breathing in, pull the shoulders down the chest. Fold forward on your exhale. Relax the upper body down. Inhale, rising up, standing, bending the knees, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch to the left first. Inhale, hands up. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down towards the left. Straight back up, breathing in. Into the right as you breathe out. Inhale up to center. Standing back bend as you exhale. Straight back up, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Stay really strong in the legs. Take your whole exhale to come down nice and slow with control. Half lift, breathing in. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant the hands on the mat. Hop or step the feet back. Lower down halfway. Don't go below your elbows. Up dog or cobra to breathe in. Pulling the chest through the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll over your toes, lift your hips up. One last sun salutation, no side stretch this time, just straight up and down. Bend your knees, look to the hands, big breath in. Exhale, hop or step between your hands, forward fold. Half lift to breathe in. Forward fold, breathing out. Rising up to standing on an inhale, bend your knees slightly, roll your spine up, let your head dangle down, and then lift your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Going straight back down again. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest. Half lift as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Try to bring the soles of the feet parallel to the wall behind you as you're lowering down. Up dog or cobra to breathe in. If you're coming into up dog, the only thing that touches the ground is the tops of the feet and the hands. And exhale into downward facing dog. Lift your right heel high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Shoulders come right over the wrists. Foot goes straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, sending the right heel high. Exhale, cross it over. Tap your right knee to your left elbow. Straight back up. Big breath in. And step your foot through between your hands as you breathe out. Rising up on an inhale, make your way to crescent lunge. Both toes pointing straight forward. Feet are on two different train tracks. Back heel's lifted just a little bit. And that front right knee is directly over the ankle. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Once you've got your legs situated, inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Turn the pinkies in, feel your shoulder blades sliding down the back. We're going to come into a little twist here, like a chair twist. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in and stretch your spine up really long. Exhale, twist around to the right. Tuck your left elbow outside of the right knee. Push your palms together to come even deeper into the twist. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly, keeping the gaze down towards the floor will help with the balance. If you want a little extra challenge, maybe you can start to lift the gaze up. Maybe it comes toward the wall next to you. Maybe you can bring the gaze all the way up to the ceiling. That one's really tricky. Really start to wobble there. On your next breath in, raise your hands back up overhead, crescent lunge. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Pivot your back foot around, bringing the arms straight out in either direction. You might want to widen your stance here. My stance always wants to come a little bit wider. From crescent lunge to warrior two. Check on the feet, front heels intersecting the back heel or the back arch. Feet are perpendicular, and peek back at the back hand, making sure it's nice and high. And then bring the gaze over the front middle finger. Make sure your front knee is still right over that ankle. Sometimes it likes to fold down towards the big toe side of the foot. Push it back in line with that foot. Let's do our yoga jumping jacks. 5 of them with the breath. Inhale, knee straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more. You don't have to stay with me. I'm just counting so you know where I am. Let your breath be your guide. 3, try to stretch the breath out as long as you can. And take your whole breath to complete each motion. 2, almost like you're in a constant, slow motion here. And last one. Triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. Maybe you want to scoot that back foot a little bit closer to the front foot. Make sure your feet are still perpendicular, front heels intersecting the back heel or the back arch. Send your hips toward the back of the mat. Stretch your right arm forward, lengthening the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, making a quarter turn down with the arms. Don't worry so much about whether or not your torso comes perfectly perpendicular to the floor. It's more important to keep that back left hip open towards the side. Sometimes it starts to fold forward, kind of twisting down towards the floor. Push it back in the line with the body. Imagine that your whole body is between 2 walls that are very close together. If you're feeling a little wobbly, you can always bring the gaze down to the floor. If it's okay on the neck and the balance, you can bring your gaze up towards your upper hand. Also, if that right hand is feeling unstable, you could always have a block underneath the right hand there on either side of the front leg. On your next breath in, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Send your right heel high as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. You can keep that right foot up or drop it down to the mat. Drop your knees down if you like. Up, tiger cobra, breathing in, coming onto the tops of the feet. Exhale, rolling over the toes, lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Moving on to the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Foot goes straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, tap your left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, sending the heel high. Exhale, cross it over, tap it to the right elbow. Straight back up. Big breath in. And step the foot through between the hands as you breathe out. Rising up on an inhale, making your way to crescent lunge. You can always bring your arms up on that initial movement, or you can situate your legs first and then come back to the arms after your legs are all situated. Make sure your left knee has a nice deep bend right over the ankle. Back heels lifted, both toes pointing straight forward, hips are squared off towards the short end of the mat. And once you've got the legs situated, inhale, bring the hands up, turn the pinkies in. Coming into our twist here, bring your hands to heart center, take a deep breath in, stretching the spine up long. Exhale, twisting around to the left, right elbow tucks outside the left knee. Push your palms together to come even deeper into the twist. If you're feeling wobbly, keep the gaze down at the ground. If you want that little extra balance challenge, you can start to lift the gaze up. Maybe it comes toward the wall in front of you. Maybe you can bring it all the way up towards the ceiling. Just notice how that shifts your balance. Find the spot that you feel comfortable with, where you're getting just enough challenge but it doesn't feel like too much. On your next inhale, rise back up to crescent lunge. Exhale, opening out, warrior two, back foot pivots around. You might want to stretch your stance out, sliding the front foot forward, back foot back a little bit. Check down on the feet. Make sure your feet are perpendicular to each other. And that back hand is nice and high. And then bring your gaze right over the front middle finger. Notice what's going on with your spine here. I do see my students sometimes leaning over that front leg. You want to make sure your spine is stretching straight up to the sky. And let's do our yoga jumping jacks. Inhale, knees straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly coming back down to warrior two. 4 more, moving with control. Feel every muscle in your body going together. 3. 2. And last one. Triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. You can scoot that back foot a little bit closer to the front foot. Send your hips back. Stretch your left arm forward, lengthening the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, making the quarter turn down. Remember, you can find a block here underneath your left hand on either side of that front foot is fine. Or just rest your left hand against your front leg. Stretch your right fingers up to the sky. If it's okay on the neck, you can bring the gaze up towards your upper hand. On your next inhale, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, frame the front foot. Left heel goes up high, big breath in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Keep your foot up or drop it down. Drop the knees down if you like. Tiger cobra on a breath in. Downward facing dog, exhale. Let's take a little break. Drop your knees down to the mat, make your way to child's pose. Knees can be together or wide. Relax your forehead down. You can stretch your hands out in front of you and let your elbows come to rest on the mat. Or you can wrap your hands back behind you towards your feet with your palms facing up. Just let the shoulders drape over the knees. Take a moment here to bring your awareness back into the body. Notice your breath. Notice how the breath moves the body. You don't have to change anything here. We're just bringing our awareness to what's happening. Feel your back rising and falling as you breathe in and out. Feel your body sinking into the earth, fully supported by the ground beneath you. Here's a good opportunity to use the mountain breath. Slowly, methodically, lengthening the breath. Count out each breath and then just add one more count every time you inhale and exhale. If your hands are wrapped back towards your feet, bring your hands back out in front of you. On a breath in, lift your chest up, coming to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, tucking the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, lift your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hopper step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Bend the knees first, roll your spine up nice and slow. Hands float up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Now let's grab that strap or a belt or a piece of fabric, whatever you've got. I'm going to mirror you here, so I'll be doing the opposite side. Bring all the way to your left foot. Lift your right foot up and loop the strap just around the bottom of the right foot. Grab both ends of the strap in the right hand and bring your left hand to your hips. So you can have that foot kind of going down, or you can try to bring the hand even closer into the foot to raise it up even more. If this is enough of a challenge, just stay right here. If you want a bit more, you can start to open out your leg towards the side. And if you don't have a strap here, you can always use your fingers around the knee. Hold that knee up just with the hands, opening out the knee to the side. Or if you can reach all the way to the pinky toe edge, you can also extend that foot that way. If you have your strap, just see if you can lift the leg up. Maybe it's down a little bit. Just focus on the balance here, getting that nice stretch in the leg. Take one more breath in here and release. Take the strap off, shake it all out. Let's try the other side. Oh, weight comes to the right foot. Lift your left foot up. Move your strap or your belt right in the center of that left foot. Grab both ends of the strap in the left hand, bringing the right hand back to your hip. Find a good spot, whatever feels right for the stretch in that leg. You can stay right here if that's enough of a challenge, or you can open out towards the left. You can also bring that right hand out to help with the counterbalance here. You can also leave it at the hip, whatever feels right. Take one more big breath in and release. Sit your strap down to the side. Shake it all out. Let's come into hand to foot pose. Feet come hip width distance apart. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Nice long spine going down. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck. And then one at a time, lift up your toes. Slide your hand underneath your foot so that the palm of the hand is facing the sole of the foot and your toes are resting right in the crease of the wrist. Really relax your head and neck. Inhale, nod your head yes. And exhale, shake your head no. One more time. Nod your head yes, take a deep breath in. And shake your head no, breathe it out. And just let your head fall back to its natural center point. If you like here, you can find some movement, bending one knee and then the other. Your knees can be really bent as much as you need to get those hands all the way down underneath the feet. Or you can start to push the knees back towards straight and feel that nice stretch on the back of the legs. If you want to come even deeper into the fold, you can bend your elbows out to the sides to bring the chest even closer to the legs. One at a time, release your hands out from under your feet. Bring weight to your fingers to heel toe your feet back together again. Bend your knees, inhale, rising up to standing nice and slow. Float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Tree pose. Again, I'm going to mirror you, so I'll be doing the opposite side. Bring all weight into your left foot. Right knee is pointing straight out to the side. You can keep the toes on the ground and have the sole of the foot on the ankle. You can raise it up so your heel comes in that little curve right underneath the knee. Or you can come all the way up on the thigh with your toes pointing straight down. Just focus on the legs if you like, keeping your hands at your hips or at heart center. Or if you would like to include the arms, inhale, lift your hands up overhead. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, release, shake it all up. Let's try the other side. All weight comes to the right foot. Left knee is pointing straight out to the side. Same foot placement options, but you're always welcome to take a different foot placement on this side. Just listening to the body. Toes on the ground, sole of the foot on the ankle. Heel right underneath the knee. Or all the way up on the thigh. Find your leg balance to start. Keeping the hands at the hips, bringing the hands to heart center. Or inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Take one last deep breath in here. Exhale, release. Give it a wiggle. Shake it all out. And let's come into big toe pose. Again, feet are hip width distance apart on the mat. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine, hinging from the hips. Relax your head and neck down. Once again, you can bend your knees as much as you need to reach your feet. One at a time. Take your middle finger and index finger, slide them in between the big toe and the second toe, and wrap them underneath the big toe, and then lock them in place with the thumb. Once you've got both toes, you can really relax your head and neck down. You can find some movement here, bending one knee and then the other, a little swing motion going on. If it feels better to just find stillness, that's okay too. And if you'd like to go deeper into the fold, bend your elbows out to the side to bring your chest really close into the legs. Release your hands out from your toes. Weight comes to your fingers to heel to your feet. Back together again. Big toes touching, a little space between the heels. Half lift, breathing in. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant your hands, hop or step back to your high plank. Lower down halfway, elbows tucked in. Back up to breathe in. And halfway down again, breathing out. Up, dog or cobra as you breathe in. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Come back to a high plank upper push-up. We're going to come into a side plank. Roll onto the big toe side of the right foot. You can stagger your feet here, left foot in front of right, or stack them, or drop the right knee down to the mat. Kick the right foot off at a 90-degree angle. And then bring your gaze up towards your upper hand. Push your hips up towards the sky. Imagine you're making a rainbow shape with those hips. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, release. Roll over. Plant your left hand down on the mat. Roll onto the pinky toe side of the left foot. Same option. Stagger the feet. Right foot in front of left. Stack them. Or drop the left knee down to the mat and kick your left foot off the side of the mat at a 90-degree angle. Right arm comes up, stretching the fingers up to the sky. Push the hips up. If it's okay on the neck, you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. One last big breath in here. And exhale, release. Drop your knees down to the mat. and make your way to a seat. We're going to come into cow face here. It's pretty tricky. Bring your knees together and stack them one in front of the other, bringing the feet out to the sides. I'll turn again so you can see it from the front. Just got my knees stacked, one right in front of the other, with the feet coming out to the sides. And then sit back in between the feet. You can always have a block here. Sit on that block, raises you up just a little bit so it doesn't feel like quite as much of a difficult stretch. You can stay right here, or you can also include your arms if you'd like to use that strap. And grab your strap in your right hand. Bring the hand up overhead. Release the strap, dangling down, and then you're going to bring your left hand back behind you. Fingers stretch up and grab onto that strap. Maybe you can bring your fingers together. If not, just hang on to whatever you've got there, strap or fabric. You can stay right here if that's enough, or you can take a deep breath in and fold over the feet as you breathe out. On your next breath in, lift your chest up, and let's switch sides. Again, bring your weight forward onto your hands to switch your feet. So this time the left knee's in front, right knee's in back. Sit back between the feet. Once again, if this is already enough, you can stay right here. You can find a block or a thick book and sit on that. It raises you up a little bit so it doesn't feel like quite as much of a difficult stretch there. If you want to include the hands, grab onto your strap. Left hand comes up overhead, dropping that strap down back behind you. The right hand's going to reach down and back. And then reach up towards those fingertips. Grab onto the strap, or maybe your fingers meet up. You can stay right here if that's enough. If you'd like to go deeper, take a deep breath in. Exhale, folding forward over the knees. Relax your head and neck down. On your next breath in, lift your chest up and release. Set your strap to the side. Wiggle out your legs. And then bring your legs nice and wide. Don't worry about how wide they are. Whatever it looks like is fine. Just listen to your body. Let your legs tell you that's your stopping point. That's as far as you want to go. That's fine. We're going to go down in between the feet. Again, don't worry about how far you get down. This is a very difficult pose to come super deep into. So however far you get, as long as your body is okay, that's where you can stop. Inhale, lifting your hands up. Exhale, fold forward in between the feet. Walk your fingertips out. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck down and round out through the back. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bend your right knee and bring the sole of the right foot right against the inner thigh. Again, I'm mirroring you, so I'm doing the opposite side. Square your hips off straight towards the left foot. Inhale, lifting your hands up. Exhale, fold over the right leg, head to knee pose. Reach for the foot. If you can't reach the foot, that's okay. You can rest your hands on your leg or on either side of the leg. And then lower down your head and neck over your knee. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bring your right leg back out to the side, switching sides. Bend the left knee, sole of the left foot comes right against the right inner thigh. Square off the hips toward the right foot. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, folding over the foot, over the leg, coming into head to knee pose. You can interlace your fingers outside the bottom of the foot. You can plant your hands on either side of the leg or just rest your hands on your leg. Any of those are fine. Relax your head and neck down, round out through the back. Don't be surprised if one side feels really different from the other. For me, this side, I'm able to come much deeper into the fold, and the other side, for some reason, it's much more difficult. That's just how the body works. We favor one side or the other for certain activities, and then when we do yoga and we're trying to do the same thing on both sides, we realize that our sides are not really the same. We have different strengths on each side. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bring your left leg back out to the side, going back down in between the feet. One more time. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your fingertips out. Try to keep your spine really long while you're going down. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck and round out through the back. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the mat with your knees pointing up towards the sky. Bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards the hips, and then gently windshield wiper the knees side to side, releasing the hips. Come into boat pose. Knees still pointing up towards the sky. Just start by grasping your hands together outside of the legs and lengthening the spine. Sit up really nice and straight and tall. Once you feel you've got a nice long spine, tuck your fingers inside the creases of your knees and lean back to float the feet. Try to keep your spine really long while you're leaning back. If this is enough, you can stay right here. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can release your hands out to the sides. And if you really want a core challenge here, you can do some boat sit-ups. Inhale, straighten out your knees, lean back, but don't touch the ground. Exhale, bending the knees, coming back up into boat. Maybe try for 4 more. Go with the breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, closing it up, back up again. 3, 2, and last one. Release your feet back down to the mat. Bring your hands back behind you, fingers pointing towards the hips. Once again, gently windshield wiper the knees side to side, releasing the hips. And come onto your back. Grab that strap again. Let your left leg slide all the way down to its spot on the mat. Lift the right foot up and loop your strap or your fabric or your belt around the sole of the right foot. Grabbing both ends of the strap in the right hand, bring the left arm out to the side, and then gently open up the right leg towards the right, all the way to the ground. You can find a 90-degree angle in that hip, or if that doesn't feel right, you can let the strap go so you've got a little bit less of an angle there. And bring the gaze over to the left hand. On your next inhale, lift your right foot up to center. Switch hands, grab both ends of the strap in the left hand. Exhale, cross your right foot over your body, down towards the left, all the way to the ground. It's okay if your right shoulder and your hip come off of the ground. Bring the right hand out to the side and then bring the gaze over to the right hand if that feels okay on the neck. If it doesn't feel right, you can always keep your gaze up towards the ceiling or even over towards the left. Bringing it to the right just helps to complete that twist in your spine. On your next breath in, lift your right foot up to center. Switch feet inside the strap. Put your left foot inside the strap and let your right leg slide back down to its spot on the mat. Grabbing both ends of the strap in the left hand, bring the right hand up to the side and then start to open out the left foot towards the left. You can reach towards a 90-degree angle in the hip. It doesn't matter if it's all the way there. Just come as close as you can. And then bring the gaze over to the right hand. On your next inhale, lift your left foot up to center. Switch hands, grabbing both ends of the strap in the right hand. Exhale, drop your left foot down towards the right. Get my right and left confused here. Left arm comes out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the left hand if that feels okay on the neck. If not, you can keep your gaze up towards the ceiling or even bring it over towards the right. On your next breath in, lift your left foot up, back up to center and release. Let that strap go down to the side. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your forehead up to your knees, curling into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Find your kneecaps with your hands and do some circles, giving your back a little massage on the ground. You could move your knees in the same direction, or you can move them in opposite directions from each other. That also feels good sometimes. And switch directions, going the other way. And then release. Make your way into Shavasana. Any comfortable laying down position is fine. Traditional Shavasana is on your back, but if you'd like to lay on your belly here, that's also okay. Lift your heart up, pull the shoulders down the back, bring the chin into the chest, rock the head side to side, and let your head fall back to its natural center point. Hands can be by your sides, palms facing up or down. Or you can bring your hands to your heart and to your belly. Sometimes that helps you focus on the breath. Release your body. Feel yourself melting into the ground. All the tension is flowing out of you. Release your breath, making your way back to natural breathing. It's okay to still focus on the breath and feel your breath. Just let your breath do whatever it wants to do here. And release your mind. Just watch your thoughts come and go as if they're birds in a treetop. You see them, you hear them tweeting away, and then they fly away and disappear to be replaced by something new. Find a few moments of stillness to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open. Start to make your way back up to a seat. Thank you all so much for joining me today for yoga. Namaste.